I don't even know how to start. Okay. Hi, my wicked ones. I just thought I would give you guys like a little bit of a background on why I do what I do. Ever since I was small, I've seen things, heard things. So when I got older, and I found some like-minded friends who didn't think I was crazy, I just started to start a paranormal team. I didn't want people who would freak out. I kind of wanted a little bit of skepticism with them just because I didn't want them to believe everything that I said, that I saw or I felt or I heard. So, and I think I found a pretty good team. But yeah, back to why I do what I do. The first time I can remember, as far back as I can remember, I was 4 or 5. And I lived in an old, it was a house, but the house was in the back, and then it had a store in the front, and it had a shoe cobbler place on the side, and we had the whole back with a huge yard. And right across the street from it was the courthouse, the police station. This is all in Kitchener, Ontario. Now I do believe there's a Rogers building. The address was 13.5 Frederick Street. So anyways, the first time I remember I was 4 or 5. I know I wasn't in school yet, so I was probably 4. I seen a man crawl through the window. So we had this huge window that in the bathroom that when you opened it, it walked out onto a flat roof that was part of the store. And I thought, who's coming in the window? Because my bedroom was right across from the bathroom. And I seen this man come through the window, but I don't recall the window being opened, if that makes any sense. But I seen him crawl through, like one knee in and then the other one, and then kind of swing his butt around and stand up with his back towards me. And then turn, look at me, come out, go right, and went down the stairs. Now, my parents were all everybody was in bed. My little brother wasn't born at the time, so it was just me and my other brother. And I remember thinking, do I go downstairs? Like, who was that? So I ended up getting up, going downstairs into the kitchen, and there was nothing. But there was the basement door. And he was kind of standing in between the front door and the basement door in the corner, just looking at me. And he went and turned and walked down the basement. I went back to bed. I was like, I don't know who you are. Obviously, you don't want me to follow you. I thought it was one of my parents' friends. So I remember getting up the next morning and asking my mom who the man was that came out of the bathroom and went in the basement. And she said they didn't have anybody there. I don't know if she thought I was crazy, if I was having a dream. I don't know what she thought. But that was the first time that I remember seeing anything. The second time was my grandma had died. My mom's mom had died when I was 2. And I remember going with my aunt and uncle in their car, and we were going to see grandma. So they were taking me to the cemetery to go put flowers on her grave for her death anniversary. I'm thinking it was. I was young. And I remember sitting in the back of the car and my Aunt Gwen saying to me, "Are you ready to go see your grandma?" And I remember coming in the cemetery and seeing my grandma sitting on top of this building, like this wall, and waving at me. And I said, "Well, she's there. Why? How come we're not stopping the car? Grandma's right there." And she said, No, we're not there yet. And I said, "But she's right there. She's waving at me." And I remember spinning around in my seat and waving at her through the back window. So I've seen things, excuse me, all my life. Every house we've been in, there's things that have happened. My ex-husband tells me that they follow me. I don't know whether they do or not, or if it's just something that's me. We lived in a house in Moncton, Ontario, and I think that was the worst place I lived. For harassment kind of things. Lived in it was an old funeral home in New Hamburg. And we didn't find that out until weird things started happening there as well. My daughter was just a baby. Every morning I would get up and her closet door would be open, light would be on, and a chair that was in the corner of her room was always pulled up to her crib. Things would go missing, people would be talking, banging, a lot of things. Found out that, you had the embalming room in the basement, which was now turned into the laundry room. But back to the house in Moncton. The house in Moncton was a man, and we had moved in. It was a very old home. It was like one of the first built there. So we renovated. It was very 60s when we moved in. It was bad. So we went in and we renovated the kitchen and the 2 bathrooms and the bedroom and the living room. And I remember after getting all my new kitchen cabinets in and everything was set up, and my husband and his friends went back to our other place and were bringing our furniture in. I was sitting on the floor with cans stocking the pantry cupboard. And out of the bathroom, was bathrooms? Out of the bathroom comes this man, and we had you could get out of the house and into the house through the bathroom from the basement. And I remember you get that feeling that you're being watched. So you kind of know something's there. And I remember turning and watching him come right out of the bathroom and stand there, arms down, stoic face, just staring at me. And I can still see his face. Like, he had the haircut. He had a brown turtleneck on. He had dress pants on. And he turned and walked right into the living room. I grabbed a can. I had a can, so I thought, whoever is in my house, I'm going to crown you. I'm here by myself. The baby's sleeping. My son was just maybe a year. I'm going to crown you. I don't care who you are. You're in my house. I'm by myself. I go in the living room and there's nobody there. There's no way out of my living room. So the master bedroom is off the living room. I check the master bedroom where my son is. I go down the hallway. There's nothing there. I go upstairs, check all 4 bedrooms up there. The bathroom, there's nothing. And I chalk it up to, okay, we have the spirit in this house now. Now, this spirit, he was the original builder of the home. So he would pace the hallway and look in my bedroom every night. For 2.5 years, this guy did this. Paced and paced and paced and paced. Brand new shower would turn on. And the one time I was there, I had company over. My daughter was there, my best friend, my cousin. And we were sitting around the table having tea. And the shower, which was just on the other side of the kitchen, turned on. And I remember yelling at it and saying, you know what, I've had enough, just shut it the F off. I'm not coming in there to shut it off. And it turned off. That was the last time that happened. My son refused to sleep in his room. I would get poked, pushed, prodded. I would go for a shower. When my son was little, I would take him in with me. And I would take my rings off and loop them through my watch and put it on the bathroom sink. Come out, have a shower, dry off, put the watch back on, rings back on, go about my day. Got out of the shower one day and my watch and my rings weren't there. And I thought, oh, maybe I left them in the bedroom, or maybe I took them off in the kitchen. I just didn't worry about it. The babe was crying, wanted to get him dressed because he was cold, get him dressed, whatever. Started making dinner, pulled open the drawer where all my bowls were, and there was my watch and my rings in the corner of the drawer. So weird things like that. Money missing out of people's wallets. My cousin's debit card got lost. We never did find it even when we moved. The one time we were all upstairs, myself, my 2 daughters, and my son. My son was probably 3. And we're walking down the stairs, and my son jumped on my back and started thumping on me and kicking me like a horse and screaming at me, "Go, mommy, go. He's going to touch me. He's going to touch me. The man's up here. The man's up here." So that was it. You know, all of us kind of run down the stairs. Candles would blow up by themselves in the middle of summer. No breeze, no nothing. I don't think he liked anything about me. I don't think he liked the fact that I had tattoos. I just don't think that there was anything that he liked about me. I ended up calling in a paranormal team. Even though it's what I do, I wanted somebody else's opinion, I guess. Called in a paranormal team. They came in, and she said to me, "He won't cross into your bedroom." And I said, "Why won't he come in the bedroom?" And she walked over to my end table, opened it, and she said, "Because you have your grandfather's cross in here." And she pulled out the cross that was my grandfather's in my end table. How did she know that? Anyways, she ended up getting him to leave. The old woman that we bought the house from that had died, she said and she described her to a T, pulled him by the scruff of the neck out the back wall. So he kind of left, but then others came. So I guess I just want to say I've had multiple experiences, seeing spirits, hearing spirits, seeing things that they move, they throw. Saw a naked man in my kitchen, thought it was my son trying to sneak up on me, and I thought, I'm going to get you this time. And I spun around real quick, and there was this naked guy, no arms from the elbows down, no legs from the knees down, piercing eyes, scraggy hair hanging in his face like greasy dirty. And we made eye contact. And the second we made eye contact, he was gone. So even in this house, things move. I just want to give you guys a little bit of background on me. I know everybody has a story. Everybody has a ghost story, whether you believe in spirits or not. Everybody has a story, whether it's something that somebody has told them or something they've experienced themselves. If you have a story and you would like to leave a comment about your story, please do share. Thank you again to all my subscribers, and I will talk soon. Bye-bye.